As you can see this, I just want to give you a prelim. I'm cooking fish today. This is porgy. They're cut in half. Here's a tail, and here's a fish head. Yes, as I said, fish head. I am Jamaican. I do love fish head. So this is the prepping so far for my fish. I have my fish fry season here. It's the Louisiana, you can see here, fish fry. I'm just gonna bread it a little bit and fry it, so then you see my steps in doing that. Right now I'm getting my pot ready with my oil. There's my pot with my oil in it, and as soon as it gets hot, I'm going to start cooking. Now I dip my fish in my fish fry. Not a lot, just real quick. As you can see, I dust it off, see? Now I put it in my pot. The oil is well hot and it's going. And I repeat this process with a different one. It don't have to be just enough coated on it, so every little part of it gets a little bit of something, you know? Okay, and I put it in the pot. There you go. This fish is frying. My oil was well hot, so here I go. I'm going to turn it. And I do the same thing to the tail. And then I let it fry a little bit longer. And then I put it to the side. See how nice and brown it is? I don't want it too brown. I just want it to get crispy enough so it has some color, because I'm going to cook it down with some seasoning. Guys, so this is the second set. This is my first batch done. I'm doing another one. I have 2 more of these to go. So you see how it is frying. It's simmering on the stove. You see a little thing on it. The residue in the oil. The oil has to be well hot. Well hot. This shouldn't take long. To cook these fish maybe took an hour the most, but it shouldn't take long. So, as again, this is my first one. Now there's a second one. Last set of fish frying. There are the other 3. This pot is too small to cook them down in, so I'm going to transfer them to this pot. So while those are frying, I'm going to transfer, focus, there we go. That one's burned a little bit. I'll turn it over. This one. This one. This one. So I have room for the other 2 fish. And here's my seasoning cut up. It's onion, scallion, thyme. I have a little pepper in there somewhere. Alright? I don't like pepper, but I still cook with it. So I have onions, green onions, otherwise known as scallion, and this is thyme. I cook it. I have tomatoes I'm going to add to it, and I said again, and pepper. Alright. Cook the rest of the fish. See, I have all 8 pieces in there. I'm taking a little bit of oil from the fish fryer just to put in it to give it a little bit of flavor. I already add some oil to it already, so I'm adding not much more. And here my season, as I said, I add the tomato, onions, and that's a little bit of Scotch bonnet I cut up because I don't like pepper, otherwise known as habanero. The onions, the scallion, the thyme is still here. So now I just take this and I pour it over it, just like that. You see it? Hold on. Alright guys, I couldn't do it with one hand, but here it is. So now, like, I can use my hands before it starts cooking down, get too hot, just to spread out the seasoning on the top of it. See? Alright. Now I have, normally I would use something else, but I didn't. I would use the pot that I seasoned the fish in, but because I wasn't sure if I was going to fry it and leave it there or cook it down, so last minute I decided to cook it down. This is water with ketchup, so I just put it on top. I'm just stirring it to give it a little bit of color. The ketchup is optional. I just like my gravy has a little bit of color to it. Normally I will let the tomato give it a color naturally, but these days the tomatoes are not as ripe as they used to be. So now I get my little thing and I pour it over the top. All over it. All over it for it to cook down. Because there's some ketchup left, I'll just add a little bit more. Don't mind my sink. I'll add a little bit more water to it. Alright, so here it is. Alright, so now I use the fork and put it over it, just like this, and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And then once I let it simmer, I'll just come back and add a little bit of butter to it. Actually, you know what? I'll add the butter to it now. Add the butter to it now. I have it here. So, see? Butter. Come off. Stuck. Alright, so I have that there. I still have some on my spoon. So with the hot water from here, it should melt off. But I just slide it off on the top. See, it slides right off. So now I just pour a little bit of gravy on top of this from the side. And then I'll let it cook down for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Alright, now I cover it up and I'll come back to it. As you see that the fish is cooking down nicely. See, all the seasonings are cooked. And see what I was talking about with the ketchup, it gives it that little bit of color. Even though the fish is already brown, but it gives that gravy a little bit of color to go with it. Another 5 minutes and I'm done. Alright. And I have the end result. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm not going to eat it now. I'm just going to plate it to store. And then that's it. There you go, and it is done. So here, no, it's still bubbling because the stove's still hot, but there you go. That's my brown stew fish. You see it? It's a piece of tail with a little bit of seasoning on top of it, a thyme, tomato. Alright guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Bye.